Is Stargate doomed to be woke if Amazon finally pull the trigger and give us a new series? I hope not. Welcome to Sidetrack, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. For me, Star Trek and even Stargate was always a bit woke. I prefer the word awake. It discussed social commentary. It discussed the problems in our culture. It used the metaphor of science fiction to talk about things like slavery and racism and sexism. But the best sci-fi? The story always comes first. But if we do get a new Stargate series, hopefully something will be announced in the next couple of months, what is then the chance that Amazon will screw it up and make an absolutely woke pile of crap? Well, I think the only way to be fair about this is to look at some of the projects Amazon have done over the last couple of years and have a think about how brave they've been in some of their choices and decide whether we can trust them to make Stargate. Remembering it will be made by MGM, but really that's Amazon now. Don't forget that if you enjoy the content, you can hit the join button and become a fully fledged side tracker. That really helps out the channel. You can go to side-trek.com. There's loads of merchandisey things on there and a load of new designs coming very soon. Also, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you miss none of our new videos, as well as the Sidetrack Sides channel. The first obvious show I can think of that is brave and cannot be described as woke in any way, shape, or form is The Boys. That show is something I personally love, but I love it because it tickles my stupid bone in the back of my brain, the 12-year-old that still lurks back there. I do think it's a very clever show. It does actually talk about racism and sexism and power and our culture a great deal, but it does it in a way that is kind of ballsy, kind of brave, and, at times pretty much in your face. It has a lot of humor in it. It has a lot of stupid boy humor as well, of things blowing up and just gross stuff. It does go too far for me at times, don't get me wrong. Particularly in the last episode, there was a few bits around the orgy thing that to me just was not necessarily, it went too far. But on the whole, it does show that Amazon are willing to allow stuff to get made that is the opposite to woke. A completely different kind of sci-fi show that Amazon produced recently is called The Night Sky. But it was a very slow burn kind of sci-fi show. It had layers to it again, and it was talking about how we age and talking about culture in our society. But again, the story came first. It was a very quite slow-paced show, 100% not for everyone. But again, is an example of Amazon making shows that are a bit braver, are a bit different, and making shows for different demographics, which is not a bad thing. Now, they have messed it up a few times. I'm thinking about Wheel of Time. That is a series that should have been reasonably easy to make. I generally don't think they put enough money in it. I don't think it was funded well enough. But they 100% made some massive errors in that show. It was obviously the creators of that show that are to blame for that, not necessarily Amazon. But even that show shows that Amazon are willing to try something different and again be a bit braver. One of the first TV shows Amazon actually ever produced, The Man in the High Castle, was again a very different kind of show. It was the sort of thing that you might expect to see on Netflix. It was based on a very popular sci-fi novel by Philip K. Dick, and it was kind of mental to watch. It was based on the premise that Hitler and the Nazis had won the war with its friends, the Japanese, and that they developed nuclear weapons first. Now, I actually did really enjoy this series. It kind of fizzled out towards the end, but it was a really good show. And again, it was that example of that Amazon can do sci-fi pretty damn well. Good Omens was a TV show that people had tried to make several times, but never been able to do it. But Amazon did. They really got the casting spot on with this TV series, and that's what made it. David Tennant and Michael Sheen were just both absolutely fantastic. This TV show was based on a Terry Pratchett book. Terry Pratchett is renowned for writing very popular sci-fi, but he's also renowned for making very popular sci-fi that's very difficult to put on the screen. But Amazon produced that TV show, and we're going to be lucky enough to get a second season soon. Now we're going to get into what is, for me, the best modern sci-fi show around at the moment, even though it's currently on hiatus, The Expanse. I think The Expanse is generally the most realistic sci-fi. It's generally not loved by everybody. It's not everybody gets it because it's not like the glossy sci-fi like Star Trek or even Stargate, really. Let's remember that it was Amazon that saved it from Netflix. After Netflix discarded it after the second season, it was Amazon that took it on and continued to make another 3 seasons. Hopefully, it will be Amazon that continue that at some point in the next 12 months. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Rings of Power. Now, people have screamed woke at that. They screamed woke at it 6 months before they'd seen it, but again, we'll let that slide for the moment. I can understand why some people didn't enjoy the show. I can understand why some people consider it a bit slow-paced, because it was. And the first 3 episodes were downright boring. But I do really think it ended on a high. I actually, overall, really enjoyed the show. I can see why it's cost $1 billion to produce so far, but I can also see exactly why it shouldn't have done. For me, The Rings of Power has not been the success that Amazon were hoping. I think the show is good. I enjoyed the show. Is it pound for pound a successful TV show? God, no. Any TV show that costs that much money really should be extraordinary, and in lots of ways it was, but in also lots of ways it was just boring. I actually think Amazon, though, will take on board a lot of the criticism from the first series, and we're already getting hints from the producers that the second series will be a little bit different and will have a much higher pace. So that is another example, if true, that Amazon actually does listen to the people that are important, the viewers. Because let's have one thing that's very true about Amazon. They do care about the viewers. They do care about the people watching the TV shows because they care about money. And at the end of the day, the best way to get money out of us is by making TV shows we want to watch. That's why they make lots of TV shows for lots of different demographics, because they want subscribers and they want the cha-ching. Now, you're not going to like every TV show on any streaming service, particularly not Amazon. But does that mean that they're doomed to make everything a certain way? No, Amazon have shown that over and over again that they are more than willing and more than brave enough to make TV shows in lots of different ways. So anybody that says Stargate new series is doomed to be woke really isn't thinking it through. They need to go and actually look at some of the TV shows Amazon produce and then make a decision. So Stargate might be rubbish when it comes out. It really depends on who they decide to showrun this and how much money they decide to spend on it. If a lot of the rumors I'm hearing are true, they are willing to really get behind Stargate and really throw something good at. I'm actually thinking more and more that we're probably going to get a Stargate movie soon as MGM get around to actually hiring a chief executive in charge of movies. Might be one of the reasons why we're still waiting, in fact, because they don't have one. And then, hopefully, following that, get a new Stargate franchise. I think Amazon are probably one of the better companies to do that. It's a shame HBO Max aren't doing it because I think they are even braver. But Amazon are not wokeists. Look, these are the people that have the Grand Tour and Clarkson's Farm on. He's the least woke person on the planet. This is a streaming service that is willing to do stuff like that and don't seem to actually force their ideals on their creators. They seem to trust the creators to make the shows they want to make. So again, as long as they get the right person in charge, then I think we're going to get to see a really great Stargate series. But what do you think? Get in the comments. At the end of the day, I'm an optimist. I will always be honest with you guys, and I will always tell you exactly what I think, but I will also always try to see the silver lining of every cloud. Get in the comments, though, and tell me if I'm just being an idiot or whether you're with me and actually think that Amazon could do a good job. Doesn't mean they will. If you are new to the channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really helps us out. And if you enjoy the content, please consider hitting the join button and becoming a fully fledged side trekker. As always, please stay safe I'll see you next time.